Okay, good to go.
Okay, once again, for those who are present here, very warm welcome to all of you. And today we are going to have the 49th episode of eBookery. And thank you for finding time to come here, and especially the speakers also and the others who have joined here. Let me tell you something about eBookery for those who have joined first time. It was started by Faisal Ibrahim and Anil Thomas, and here I'll share a screen now. Please.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I hope you can see it now. Yes. So it is an online platform to bring out our favorite authors and their perspective in the making. We have all been part of it, and so many others have been part of it from the beginning, and some of us joined in between. So this is the motto of eBookery: teamwork makes the dream work. And it is also another motto: lead, read, and succeed. And now it is showtime now. And these are the coordinators and the founders of eBookery show. And many others are there which, who are not included in this slide also. This is a team. And our last few chapters goes on like this. So many speakers, so many books. And apart from this, we have Malayalam, Hindi, Tamil also. This is our English eBookery episodes on Saturday, 5 p.m. IST and 6:30 p.m. in India. These are some of the books. And then today we have these speakers with us, and we are going to enjoy listening to them about the two books, 5 a.m. Club and Dear Parent by the author herself. And now, thank you for joining with us in the eBookery and team. And now we have an usual procedure of story time here. So since Niaz has some other work, he has some guests, that is as it is because of Eid. So I myself am going to tell you a little story, a small story. So here we go. A Baba was sitting on the bank of a river. So someone asked him, "What are you doing, Baba?" And he said, "I am waiting for the whole river to flow. Then I will cross it." The person said, "Baba, you will never be able to cross the river while waiting for the whole water to flow. This can't happen." Baba said, "This is what I want to explain it to you. People who always say that once the responsibilities of life are fulfilled, then I will have fun, remember, meet everyone, serve, etc. So just like the water of the river will never end, the responsibilities of life will never end. We have to find a way to cross the river. So start living now, have fun, enjoy your life in 2021 and in future, because 2020 has shown us the importance of life. Even now it is going on. Things happen around us, things happen to us. But the only thing that truly matters is how we choose to react to it and what we make of it. Life is all about adopting and converting all these struggles that we experience into something positive. So on that note, I pass the mic over to Anil Thomas for introducing our first speaker of the day. Over to you, Anil.
Thanks, Sindhu. Thank you very much. And thank you for all. Ladies and gentlemen, leadership and elite performance expert Robin Sharma presented the 5 a.m. Club concept some 20 years ago, and it's still going strong. The book 5 a.m. Club will walk you through how great geniuses, business titans, and the world's wisest people start their mornings. The mornings are so important to produce astounding accomplishments in their life. A step-by-step method to protect the quietest hours of the daybreak. So you have time for exercise, self-renewal, and personal growth, meditation, you call it whatever. Personally, I love this book since its methods are supported by neuroscience. I don't read anything that is not supported by science. And this particular one is supported by the neuroscience. There's a way to start your day with a purpose, a pattern that will help you to accomplish more and increase your mental and physical health. It all starts with waking up at 5 a.m. Help me in welcoming Surya Bijoy. Surya is a journalist by profession, Toastmaster. She wanted to say it with a lot of pride in it, and former supplements editor at the Gulf Times, former English news reader at All India Radio News. Welcome, Surya, onto eBookery platform.
Thank you so much, Mr. Anil Thomas, for your wonderful introduction. And thank you, Sindhu, also for that beautiful story to start such a nice intellectual session today. I'm very honored to come here and share these views with you, and especially this book review. This is a very special book. And can I share the screen over here?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Can you see the first page?
Yes.
Okay, so let me begin. Well, let me first welcome all of you.
Excuse me, Surya, if you can make that as a slideshow, it would be better because all the slides are seen on the side, and then
Okay,
so
okay.
we can start the slideshow from beginning.
And slideshow from beginning, yeah, just run it through.
Yes.
Thanks, Surya.
Thank you.
Is it okay now?
It's fine.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so let me welcome all of you today. Very hearty welcome to the book review session of the book called The 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. It's a very famous book, and I'm very honored to review it today with all of you today in your Bookery Club today. My name is Surya Susan Bijoy. And let me just start by this agenda. I'll start about talking about your author, our dear Mr. Robin Sharma, about his other publications. I'll introduce the book also to you. I'm sure many of you must have read it by now because it's so famous. Still, I'll introduce it to you. Then I'll give you the essential book information also about the characters, then about the plot summary, the basic plot summary, a little bit of my own inputs and recommendations. Now, let me come to the author. As you all know, this author is Mr. Robin Sharma. He's a Canadian writer. He's best known for his book, The Monk Who Sold the Ferrari book series. That was his beginning. And then he worked as a litigation lawyer when he self-published Mega Living 1994, a book on stress management and spirituality. He initially also self-published The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, which was later picked up for wider distribution by HarperCollins. Robin Sharma has published 12 other books and founded the training company called the Sharma Leadership International. There's other publications of the same author that you can happily go ahead and make your choice and read in life is, let me just read up only the names. Mega Living, 30 Days to a Perfect Life. The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. Leadership Wisdom from the Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. Who Will Cry When You Die? Life Lessons from the Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. Family Wisdom from the Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. The Saint, the Surfer, and the CEO. The Greatness Guide, 101 Lessons for Making Good at Work. In Life, Even Better. Then you have the Greatest Guide, book number 2, 101 More Insights to Get You to Work World Class. The Leader Who Had No Title, The Secret Letters of the Monk. The Little Black Book for Stunning Success. And the book that we are going to review today is finally The 5 a.m. Club, which he wrote in the year 2018. Now, let me introduce you to the book. Okay. In the 5 a.m. Club, Robin Sharma tells the story of a fictional artist, an entrepreneur, and a tycoon to explain the benefits of rising early every morning. The book isn't the first to think of waking up early. Many great thinkers, artists, and public figures have used an early morning routine as a part of their success. The 5 a.m. Club describes people who have learned the importance of rising early and starting their day with the intention of getting the most from it. The first hour after you wake up is most important, and it's the most productive hour of the day. And the book actually teaches you how to utilize that main crucial time. Your body and brain are recharged and more capable of focus and creative thought. When you rise before dawn, the world is quiet and devoid of the distractions that can zap your attention and cognitive energy. If you follow the steps to create a successful morning routine, you can begin your day focused, grounded, and ready for the tasks ahead. It's a fiction story of 4 main characters. And to make it interesting for you, I have just made 4 sweet pictures for you. The 4 characters are the spellbinder. You have a billionaire, Mr. Riley. You have a male artist. He's a professional painter. And you have a woman entrepreneur. I hope you like the pictures. It's to make it more fun, right? Rest is all your imagination, how you guys look at it. Okay, now let's come to the story. The story begins with the entrepreneur character who lost most of her shares, and she's so close to the situation where she's going to be fired by the company she started. Beginning in such a situation, she goes to depression, and she even tries to commit suicide. That's when she finds the entry pass for the life-changing event by Spellbinder, as the entry pass placed on the table by entrepreneur's mother. We just had a Mother's Day, right? So we all know the importance of how mothers will always help us in crucial points in life. Same happens with our entrepreneur lady. She's also helped by her mother. She's given this pass, and then she enters this seminar hall and finds Mr. Spellbinder. And then she meets the artist who loves to paint, but as most of us, misses the focus multiple times in his life. While Spellbinder was giving the speech on how to get control of your life, he falls down. Now, the entrepreneur and the artist feel bad about the Spellbinder. While they have to leave the seminar hall, they meet Mr. Riley, the billionaire. 3 of them start discussing Spellbinder's speech. While leaving the seminar hall, Mr. Riley offers both the entrepreneur and the artist to join him in the same place the next day at 5 a.m. so that he can teach him how to make use of your early morning and elevate your lives. From the next day, the main story begins. The main story is about how the entrepreneur and the artist followed the tactics explained by the billionaire and how their lives changed afterwards. Finally, the book ends what happened to these 4 main characters after 5 years being in the 5 a.m. Club. Okay, now let me come to what I derived from them. My principles, what I found out, 5 of them. One, it's not my finding, it's from the book only. 1 hour of tranquility leads to a lifetime of achievement on a daily basis. There is no power in excuses. Without struggle, there will be no glory. Without extraordinary or being extraordinary means being different. There's only one direction which can lead to greatness, and that is moving forward. Okay, now the 3 other big lessons which I personally learned from this book was waking up at 5 a.m. will provide you with solitude and an improved brain state to perform like the professionals. Balance. The second main lesson which I felt was you have to balance your 4 interior empires to achieve self-mastery. Your mindset, your health set, your heart set, and your soul set. These four are very important. You need to have a harmonious balance in life. And that is very important because you have to grow in it, and you have to slowly develop it to reach a state where you can be truly happy and successful. Third important thing, don't waste time. When you wake up early, use the 20 by 20 by 20 formula, which you'll find in the book. You'll find a lot of formulas at the end of it. Like the first 8 chapters is actually the conversation between these two characters. You'll have a lot of motivational quotations, lot of real good stuff to, you can write a lot, you can learn a lot good positive quotes from a lot of great people. First 8 chapters. The next 8 chapters, as you'll have all these formulas. The main one is this 20 by 20 by 20 formula, which is nothing but first 20 minutes you exercise. So your physical well-being is done. Next 20 minutes, there is reflection, meditation. Okay, you can, if you are spiritually inclined, you can take up your spiritual books, or you can even follow your favorite philosophical writers, whoever influences you or your school of thought. That is your choice. Then the next 20 minutes is for reading and for learning. This is how your brain and your thoughts become, happy, and, you have a lot of peace. So that makes you grow and learn and understand on your own. That is the best experience you can have. So to wake up early, you need to sleep early. Keep yourself away from your devices while you're sleeping. Minimum 1 hour before you sleep, turn off all the devices. It's hard nowadays, but still, you can try it. Okay, I'm in the habit of waking up at the crack of the dawn. However, after reading this book, I decided to adopt the 5 a.m. club morning routine, but condensed it and shifted it a little bit to suit my schedule. I don't believe that rigidity suits everyone, and I like picking bits and pieces from different methodologies and incorporating them in my life in a way that works best for me. I prioritize getting continuous 7 or 8 hours sleep, or waking up at 5 a.m. or short intermediate naps over the next 24 hours. But still, I do get set aside the me time in the morning to pray, to reflect and learn, as I love the morning routine, and I found it helped to create some much needed space in my day and enhances my productivity and my overall well-being. I'd recommend giving the 5 a.m. club a shot to all of you, but don't be afraid to set your own rules. So I thank you all for the great patience that you had to listen to me all through. And please go ahead and read the book on your own, because you have to decide for yourself. You will find a lot of books on motivation, but it's up to you what suits you, your thought, and which makes you happiest through your application and through whatever you can take from it. And I think that is the best way. You are your own judge, best judge. So go ahead and read the book nicely. And over to you, Mr. Anil Thomas. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Surya. Thank you so much. Sindhu, please take over.
Thank you. Thank you, Surya.
Let's call a few people. Yeah.
Thank you for that slideshow. Please, can you?
Sindhu, can you close this? Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yes. And okay, thank you. It was a very organized way of presentation with all the pictures and all the points bulleted. And I like the points about the interior empires, especially mindset, health set, heart set, and soul set. Also, sleeping early, also the turning off devices, it is a very difficult thing, but still we can try. Getting up early is okay, but sleeping late and then getting up early, that is what we all do nowadays, I think. So we have time for 1 or 2 reviews. Soma sir.
Yeah, let's hear from Soma sir and Moiva sir. From let's hear from. Yeah.
Because he is one man who is in the 5 a.m. club of our Brain City. So
first and foremost,
please, Soma sir.
First and foremost, actually, commendable performance by Surya and Bijoy. Dressed properly, and believe in yourself and self-respecting and self-confidence. And I was only wondering and how you are going to present it, because it's an obsession with me, the 5 a.m. club. I was with Robin Sharma on a regular exercise, 18 months. He was interacting with the public, incorporating it. While he was writing, he used to talk and write like that. So I was from that time onwards. And now I'm almost completing 1 year in next week in 5 a.m. club. And we are trying to do this. In fact, some people are talking, why you want all the regimentality and why do you want to be like a robotic? The questions are there for intellectual purpose, like that, Dale Carnegie's book, why do you want to shout to become a speaker? Because initially that faking aspect is there. But your ability to bring it like a professorial way, concise way, because Anil would have told, hey, all fine and good, but this is the time allotted for you. So you are very smart in just giving us what is essential, what is required, and giving some temptation, and then making us all to talk about 2020. Then you say, hey, you have a heart and soul. You go with your DNA structure, and very smartly you have, no one can say you're not touched in detail. You went into 2020, then you went into the heart set, mind set, and the soul set, and health set, that 4 sets also. At the same time, if you open and reveal, there are so much to talk about it. So I thought that you will be talking about one anecdotes. For example, anybody will be excited. I still remember the monks who sold the Ferrari. Here also that spellbinder is falling down, and maybe you could read last few lines on the chapter. So it will be actually a temptation for everybody to, like that way it will be good. What transformation you have made after reading this book, at least now for the presenting here? You have decided some more changes you are going to bring, or what is the inspiration you got while doing this here? Interesting book. Everyone should have one. I have done all the everywhere line because of every day I do something, meditation or something. Very good, e-Bookery show through 5 a.m. club. 5 a.m. club gives the opportunity, and these people are so dedicated, focused. They don't even come and see what is happening in the other windows. They are only focused on this, and they're doing it globally now. This is one of the best. And this book has attracted, I think, more people, but they are all busy with closing down, lockdown, and the issues are there, rain, network problem. Otherwise, I think some more numbers is to be here. Thank you very much, Surya, Susan. So what is the one transformation you are going to do, or some changes you want to bring in?
Honestly speaking, thanks a lot for that lovely, your kind words of appreciation. I'm really honored. The thing is, I'm a Toastmaster also. So we have this education program called the Presentation Mastery. It's a long process. And in that, we take up topics and, divide it like this, and we make it good into a good presentation, something which doesn't bore you, throughout. Usually book reviews are very boring to the youngsters, I think, because they get bored. They have a cliche in it, and they say, I get bored after 5 minutes. So that's why I wanted to make it more interesting, more catchy for everybody, so that you guys don't sleep and you actually watch them. So I brought in even the 4 characters. I got the funniest or the cutest of the pictures I could get, so that I wanted all of you to actually think of it and then go ahead and read the book, because that is the most important thing. We all have our own sense of judgment and thinking. And I think for that, you must read the book. That's why it's just to give you kind of a trailer of a movie before. So don't reveal the whole story, so that the suspense is not lost. And you all go ahead, buy the book or take the book. Happily read it. Make your own notes. And
one thing is that book reviews are not always boring, because we don't have enough time to read all the books, but we get to know about all the books from this eBookery club or listening to other book reviews, etc. So many books. I got to know about so many books after joining this eBookery club. That is the advantage of this listening to book reviews.
Wonderful. That's so nice and receptive of you to think like that, because you have been in this session. This is my first session here. I'm a guest today and I've just joined it. But for me, books are like a part of my life. My father is a journalist, Dr. George Verghese, and and my mother also was a journalist and a teacher. So, and throughout, I'm a Delhi girl. I'm from St. Stephen's College and Convent of Jesus Mary School. So books have been part of my life all through. And even now, my children, my son and my daughter, both of them are voracious readers. We had to buy them Kindle to fit in all the books in the home. And my husband also loves reading. So my home has a lot of books actually. So for me...
So now are you logging in from Delhi or...
No, I'm from Dubai right now. I'm in Dubai right now. It's my Sharjah home right now. We are residents of Dubai, but we stay in Sharjah. It's half an hour from Dubai. That's it.
So shall we go to some others who would like to?
Yeah, thanks, Surya. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, no problem. But one line I want to say: the best technique tool you have given, I think all book review can bring in. You just gave. These are the 4 characters. I think that captures the entire thing. I think this could be one of the technique. When I'm reviewing a book, Anil can insist or just be a gist of it. I think it's a good technique. Thank you very much. Amazing.
Thanks. Thank you so much, sir. Sindhu, can we call Maiwa for a second? Because you unmute? Yeah.
Oh. Yes, I'm not able to unmute him. Okay. He has to unmute himself, I think.
Oh,
yes, please.
He's on, yeah.
Maiwa, fast second.
Yeah.
Please. Yes.
Hello. Okay.
Hello.
Yes,
can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you, but you're not visible.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Visible? I'm
yes,
on
now
my
it is
video.
okay.
Can you
now
see my video now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So
yes.
it's nice to be here once again. I'm always Saturday is my busy period and a lot of trainings today. But that was a nice review, and the book itself, a nice, very, very insightful and powerful book. And the reviewer did justice to it. You know, the intro and every other part of it. But like I always say, that one of my quotes, I said, read nothing, become nobody. You know, so if you read nothing, you are at the verge of becoming nobody. You know, so you've got to read. And so if you've got to read, it's important that we sometimes you don't even feel like reading, but you've got to read, because if you don't want to become a non-entity or a mediocre, you've got to read. So the review is good, is necessary, is timely, and the book itself, it's very, very educating and insightful. And I want to commend the reviewer. She did a good job. You know, even the slides also shows that it was well reviewed and the message was clear. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maiwa. Yes, now Major Narayanan sir. We saw a flash of you and then you're gone.
He'll be there.
Narayanan sir, are you here? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, Major sir.
I should commend Surya for the wonderful manner in which she was able to introduce the Robin Sharma's book, because there are 2 occasions. One, most of us here in the platform are all beneficiaries of 5 AM Club. We've been able to reap the benefits of getting up early and signing up in the platform and then joining and doing all the rituals. One. Secondly, it brings us a lot of joy to know that this has been formulated years before, and there's a separate set of people who belong to this particular sect who've been able to achieve the pinnacle of glory and success. And a book has been written, and we have not read the book, but here is a person, Surya, who's been able to capture the sum and substance of the book and make it in a very encapsulated format, make it very, very easy for us to digest. Kudos to Surya for having brought us to the nuances of the book and for having triggered us the interest contained in the book. Thank you, Surya, and thanks Anil Thomas and Sindhu Balagopal, and eagerly looking forward to more such reviews from Surya. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Major sir.
Sindhu, maybe we can take
Now,
one
Anil.
more. Yeah.
Okay, one.
Okay. Let me take Rohini ma'am. Rohini ma'am, are you there?
Yeah, very crisp,
Rohini.
clear, precise, and wonderful review, Surya. I really loved it. Though I'm not a part of the 5 a.m. club, but I do get up early because I believe in Brahma Muhurat. I get up around 4:30 and I work from 5, and I do follow meditation and reading and all that stuff. Not in the 20-minute club, but like 1 hour of reading, 1 hour of meditation, half hour of meditation, and half hour of journaling. And I know it is very productive to get up in the early. In the whole day, you cannot finish so much of mind work, which you can do in 2 hours. So 2 hours is the me time if you get up early, and it is very, very, very helpful. And I really loved your review. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, maybe one more, Anil.
All right. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
We have Venkat sir. Yes, Venkat sir. I hope you have been listening from the beginning.
I joined a little late. I'm sorry. I would love to contribute after the second review.
Perfect.
Okay, okay. Then
Let me
Anima
call.
Girish.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Are you there, Anima? Okay, maybe Anil, we can call. We can come back to this review after the second book review.
All right.
So please introduce the second speaker. Over to you.
Thank you, Sindhu. With intentional parenting, your child can experience greater independence and self-confidence. Together, we will explore how you can bring more intention to raising your children, because when we bring our core values to parenting, it feels as though everything is in alignment and you can begin to maximize your full potential as a parent. Let me introduce Uvat Elisha Mashat, writer, author, and expert in teens' mental health, and a leader, and is a great friend. Welcome, Uvat, onto eBookery platform.
Thank you for having me. Can you hear me?
Yes, sure. Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Uvat, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Okay. So, Dear Parent is a non-fiction human interest book where we talk on the experiences gathered in childhood and the things that teenagers are voicing out to their parents. Now, in this book, it's written in 11 chapters. Each of the chapter discuss a challenge that goes on between a parent and children.
Excuse me, is the voice breaking or is it my problem? Yes, it is. The voice is breaking. Yes, it is audible, but
my voice.
But yes, it is audible, but it is breaking in between.
Disturbance.
Sorry about that. Maybe it's the network. But is it clear now?
Yeah.
Hello, is it clear now?
We can hear you,
yes,
Uvat,
yes.
but it's still breaking.
Uvat,
Wow.
Uvat, maybe you leave and rejoin. Let's see if
Can
you
you
can.
hear me?
Yeah, maybe that's a good choice.
Yes.
Just to leave and come back, join again.
Leave and rejoin.
We'll wait for you.
Leave and rejoin.
Okay.
We'll wait for you.
Okay.
Or
Meanwhile, let me hear it from Geeta ma'am. Geeta ma'am, do you want to add anything more to the first book review.
First book, Anil, I couldn't get the second one. It was a very interesting one. Like it was how to take the 20 and 20 minutes as she was speaking about. Of course, it's very good. It's not that I'm not restricted to the timings, like only 20 minutes or 20 minutes or 20 minutes. A person can take out his time like half an hour, the way he can feel it comfortable according to his own self. I mean, some try to, it's not only the meditation or the spirituality, one can also devote himself in music. Like, for example, early in the morning, if you get up and then those who are very good singers and all, they start classical music. And for them, that is only a kind of the meditation also. It's a spirituality also. And it's everything. And
Okay,
it's not
Gita
very
ma'am, I think Uvat is back. No, maybe let me get her back. I'm sorry.
yeah.
I'll bring you at the end.
I'm not able. I'm not audible.
You're audible, but the Uvat is back to.
He's wrong, I think.
Yeah, so let me call Uvat first, and then I'll come back to you again.
Okay.
Yeah, Uvat.
Second speaker is back.
Okay, hear me now. Is it clear?
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay. Now, it's written in 11 chapters. Each of these chapters addresses the issue in a parent-child relationship. The chapter starts with the appreciation, of course. Everybody has to appreciate their parent. Even the gift of having a parent, that in itself is something we should be grateful for. We appreciate them. Most of the students wrote out their letters to appreciate their parents for the provision of food, for provision of shelter, clothing, and every other thing, paying of school fees and all that. The first chapter is all about appreciation. We appreciate them for everything put through to raise their kids to whatever level it is that they are. Now, the second chapter addresses comparison. In this side, comparison to some parents seems as a way of motivating their children. There's nothing wrong in motivation, but when parents make it look like children have to compete with their peers, with their siblings, with friends, and every other person, it's weighs these children down emotionally. They feel intimidated by seeing their mates who they have been compared with. Now, these are saying that it is very popular in this our other side. When you come home and then you said, I took a second position in school, they ask you, the person that took the first position, does he have to head? It's usually, they make you feel like whatever it is that you're doing, you have to compete with the other kids. Like the first position, no, it has to be you. Why is it that person? They even tell you at your age, you're still getting second position. So children, most of the students who wrote their letters make this as it's the most prominent that they complain about. They are being compared with their siblings in their spiritual life, in their academics, in every area. They are being compared with their own siblings, which is something they do not, it doesn't sit well with them. It affects them because when they meet these other students or some of their friends that they are being compared with, it makes them feel intimidated. It makes them feel inferior to those other students, and that in turn affects their performance in whatever it is that they are doing. Now, in this book, there are quotations from the students and experts on the field from which those that are into parenting, that are stuffs like relationship between parents. Now, there's a quote from a basketball player, Hack Aaron. He said, I never doubted my ability, but when you hear all your life you are inferior, it makes you wonder if the other group have something you've never seen before. Now, the more kids are being compared either to their siblings, to their friends, or to anybody else, they feel inferior. they feel intimidated the moment they come in contact with those other students. When you go through the book, you see some of the quotations from the students and my own sense as well, because I wrote on including my own personal experience and those that I encountered. The third chapter talks about insult and vulgarity in reprimand. As children, we are most of the time stubborn, of course. They're usually stubborn in code, actually. They do things and they don't get it right. As parents, it is our responsibility to discipline and reprimand whatever it is that they do wrong. But there are some words that you use in addressing your children that it makes them wonder. Parents are fond of using words like stupid. Some parents actually, they use words like stupid, useless, you're a fool. That is your child. And that child sees you as a role model. Whatever it is that you say to them sinks in their mind. The more you keep calling your child useless, the more you keep calling your child stupid, you'll be surprised one day when you wake up and that child is thinking he's actually stupid, he's actually useless, because that is what he has been called all his life by the two most important people in his life. That's his parents. Children, most of the children were affected by this. They said they feel like what their parents are saying about them is true. Imagine a child feeling useless because that is what he has been addressed by his parents. As parents, they value you, they hold you in high esteem. And what you say to them, they might begin to feel, what if my father is right? What if my mother is right? So those are some of the issues that were addressed. And an anonymous person said, beware of the words you speak to your children. Because whatever it is that you say to them might become their inner voice, and they might grow up believing everything that you've called them. Even in great books like the Bible, there's importance in the name in which you address your child. There are people that, like Abraham, his name changed when he made some impact in his life and stuff like that. So all those things tells us that what it is that we call our child is very, very important to them, either now or in the future. The fourth chapter talks about exposing children to parental fights and acrimony. Now, in every marriages, there are misunderstandings that we understand. There might be fights at some moments, but doing it right in front of your children is sending a message to them. Whatever it is that you do, some parents even go to the extent of using their fists and fighting right in front of your children. These children see and listen to what it is that you do more than you can imagine. For me, when I was growing up, anytime my parents have a misunderstanding, I always pray in my heart that they solve it out. Because I feel disturbed. I'm wondering, okay, will this lead to another serious issue? Are they going to resolve it? Am I going to be separated, or are they going to be separated? Stuff like that. When children, all they keep doing is thinking about, oh, what is happening to my parents? You fight. And then I've experienced a scenario where the father has been abusing the mother for years, till it reached to a certain stage. When the children grow up, they have to stand and inform him that if he should continue with that attitude, they will take actions. Imagine your child having to be in a position where they have to choose side as to, okay, why is my dad beating my mom? Why is my mom insulting my dad? It's a painful and terrible situation to be, and it affects their mental well-being. According to Bill O'Reilly, he said, sociologists well understand that chaos at home causes violent behavior, educational failure, and social alienation among children. Yet many of us stay further away from this topic. Bad parenting is gravely harming this nation. Now, this is what is happening. We see or we fight right in front of our children, and we feel it's okay to do that because they are children and it's all right. As parents, it's our house. We can fight wherever we want to fight. We can, but these children are watching. and they are going to, some of them end up marrying abusive people because they believe a way to love your partner is through abuse. They have seen their parents done that. So they feel they might imbibe, they may become abusers or end up with people that would abuse them, and they'll feel that is the way to love because their parents used the same method. The next chapter, which is chapter 5, talks about dragging children into adult fights, teaching them hate. Now, in this chapter, I've had a neighbor who had a fight with another neighbor, and she restricted the kids from greeting or having any contact with the other neighbor. In this scenario, what are you trying to teach your child? Because when children, you begin to teach them that every little misunderstanding you have with someone, they should stay away from that person. I know we're trying to protect children. There is no doubt about that. But then, while protecting them, be mindful of how you do it so you don't end up teaching them hate. The moment you begin to teach them that the way to resolve issues is by carrying somebody's fight, it's like you're creating a generational fight. If today you teach your child not to talk to your neighbor because of a misunderstanding, tomorrow he teach his own child not to fight with another, not to talk with another neighbor because of a misunderstanding between parents. It goes on from generations to generations, and these children are going to learn hate. They're going to learn how to hate the people that wronged the people in their life. It's okay to have fights with people. We're all going to do that. But if you can find a way of resolving those fights without dragging the children inside. I know some people can go to the extent of harming a child just because the parent offend them, but you can find a way of protecting them. Maybe by giving them a vivid explanation of why they have to avoid a particular person. But in most cases, no explanation, nothing, they don't give instruction. Don't talk to that person. Don't even greet him. Don't do that. What exactly are we teaching them? Most of the students complain about that issue. There's a particular one that was even telling his dad to stop harming somebody's child just because he has understanding with the person's parents. You can imagine what your children are being exposed to at a teenage stage where they have a battle with their adolescents and all that, and then they have to come home and are being dragged into fights that has nothing to do with them just because someone has a different point of view from yours. These are some of the things that the children talk about, which we address. And then one other one, it's in chapter 6, we talked about favoritism. In this side, we say mommy's pet, daddy's favorite. There's this particular child that is showered with love, attention, and all the care that the others don't get. In most cases, like in this part where we put a high price on male children, if maybe I'm having 3 girls and 1 boy, that 1 boy will be treated with so much love, with so much affection. You experience everything that the others are not given the opportunity to experience. I can give that person attention. Some even go to the extent of not punishing them on grounds that they will punish the others. These are some of the things that we address and the students complained about a lot. Some of them said, because because he's the only male child or because she's the only female child, they now show her love. They showered her with attention. I read a story online where a man had 2 sons. The first one went for medicine. The second one became an artist. But the father hated the second one because he didn't study medicine or prestigious courses like law or all the other ones. So all his attention, all his love and care, he showered it to the one studying medicine. Now there was a day the artist forgot his drawing materials at home and he went back to pick them up. Then he overheard his father telling his lawyer to will almost all of his properties to the first son because he's the only responsible one. He got angry and promised to get back at his father. On his brother's graduation, the one studying medicine, He shot him and killed him. He was arrested and sentenced to prison while his mother died of shock, and the father was left to mourn the hatred and the rivalry that he has sown in his son's life. Children come in different shapes, they have different IQ levels, they have different talents and everything. But then the moment we start preferring the other child more than the other one, or we start preferring this, that in itself is what brings harm, because the others feel you don't love them, they feel you hate them, they feel like they are not even your children. There are times some of them sit down to question themselves, like, is this really my father? Is this my mother? Am I a part of this family? When it reaches to that stage, it affects them mentally. There are some point they begin to even hate their own siblings, the ones that you prefer, because they feel they are the reason why you don't love them. In chapter 7, we talked about teaching with example. Okay, so here there are some few words that parents feel it's only children that are allowed to say, like please, thank you, I'm sorry. Like ours, it's very hard for a parent to apologize to a child. They feel it's the children's responsibility to do the apology. Okay, so the child is wrong, you're not going to apologize. You did something wrong, but you're not going to apologize to the child, and you expect tomorrow for your children to apologize to you and to other people. This life is all about teaching with examples. As parents, you're the first role model in the life of your child. Whatever it is that you do, they watch you, and most time they learn, either consciously or unconsciously, and that is how they tend to go. If you want your children to apologize, to relate well with people, to have good character traits, then you have to learn those traits yourself, so that your children can, you have to show them so that they can learn with example. Like someone said, you can preach a better sermon with your life than your lips. We can just shout and say, no, okay, you come home and tell your kids, no, don't fight your siblings, don't. But you're fighting with your wife. How are they supposed to do that? Okay, can you sit down today and said, this is how I want my son to be. This is the character trait that I desire to see in son as a parent. If we say, tell your son, do as I do and live as I live, are you going to be proud of that? These are some of the questions we fail to ask ourselves. We paint a perfect picture. We want perfect children with every character trait that we have refused to shun them, or we ourselves have not imbibed for them to learn. But then we keep questioning them, why are you fighting? But you were fighting with the neighbor yesterday. They saw it, they learned from it, and they tend to exhibit some of the futures that you have as a parent. In chapter 8, we talk about unfriendly parenting. Now in these letters, when I received the letters from the students, there were so many things, so many emotions, so many words that they want to say, that they have said, that they feel and they wish it was said to their own parents directly. Some even said, just publish my name, because I wanted it. I asked them to do it anonymously so they can feel free. Everyone is free with their marks on. So I asked them and they did that. But some were wishing these letters would be directly sent to their parents so that they can feel their pain. In some homes, the moment the father is coming home, everybody is going to run to their rooms because he doesn't talk to them, he doesn't relate with them. There is no relationship aside from you're my children and I'm your father. There is no any other relationship. Teenagers are struggling with the changes in their own bodies. But then it is hard when they don't have someone to listen to them. We push them off with our harsh, sometimes we even listen to our children to judge. You don't listen to understand where it is that they are coming from. The moment he said, I had a fight with somebody, you won't even take your time to say what happened. Some parents just jump and say, who ask you stuff like that. It's depressing because these kids have so much to say and no one to listen. And in most cases, the person they want to listen more, it's their parents. According to Pauline Phillips, she said it's a sad commentary of our times when our young must seek advice from their abbey instead of going to mom and dad. Most times in the internet, you see stories of young people, many things happening in their life. Some even go to maybe some uncles or aunties around, someone older than they are. They begin to seek advice on issues that their parents are supposed to solve just because that relationship is not there. They are scared of speaking out because they don't know your reaction. They don't know what will happen, and they are scared that you might judge them instead of listening. So they go out there to seek for advice from other people, which we all know they might not get the right advice. So they go on the internet, they ask their peers, and they just ask just anybody that is available to listen to them. Truly, it is very disheartening, the relationship between parents and students, the ones that I met. It's so painful because they have so much to say, so many questions to ask, but no one to listen. In chapter 9, we talk about spending time with your children. That has become something that it's slowly losing, it's just going out. These days, parents spend most of their time. You go to work from morning till evening, and then when you're back, the next thing you do, you pick up your phone or your laptop, or you pick TV, you're watching television, your children are there. You don't even have the time. If they come, they want to say a word. You said, I'm busy, I'll talk to you later. The letter never comes because you never really created the time. Most of the children complain about time. They don't have enough time to spend with you. How do you know your child when you don't even spend time with them? How do you have a relationship with your own child when you don't even listen to them? These children have so much to say, but very little time and no one to listen. This is what all this is about. Children that wrote, some of the students wrote and were urging their parents to give them a little bit of time to get to know them, to talk and just sit down and just talk as parents and children. In chapter 10, we talk about teaching them sex education. Now in in my own side of the world, sex education is something you don't mention. You don't say right in front of an elder or your parents. Because the moment you mention anything that sounds like any word that is related to sex, they just begin to look at you like, who taught you that? How did you become this spoiled? Some of us, even the changes in adolescence, we were not taught by our parents. They just say, don't touch a boy or you get pregnant. And you begin to wonder, how? We were just told, no, stay away from boys. Don't even touch a boy. If at the age of, let me say 16 or 17 or even 18, you come home and then you say, I saw a nice guy. Before you finish, I think I like him. Your parents must have spanked you and given you a serious beating. At the age of 18 or 20, what are you doing with a guy? Some parents don't even want to see their kids, their teenagers, or even adults at the age of 20 close to any boys. I'm not saying allow your kids to be loose. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying teach them the right thing that you want them to know concerning sex-related issues. Give them an in-depth explanation of what it means. You ask me not to touch a boy, how? Like, even my brother, I can't touch, like I can't use my hand to touch him or something. Anything that has to do with, and okay, we leave most of the responsibilities to a teacher or to their teachers who are shy or shy away from the topic. It's just recent that I think some schools are beginning to teach all this. Now, in most cases, we leave the issues to our teachers or religious groups or other people to handle the very thing that we as parents are supposed to do. We all know that movies, the internet doesn't teach doesn't teach abstinence. They all make it look like relationship, like everything in all relationship, you must be intimate before getting married. The only place where abstinence is taught should be at home, is where they teach, but they don't even give us an explanation. Okay, so how is your child supposed to know when you trust the internet, just the internet, or the movies we watch, which today we don't even trust them? Because when you're watching a movie, you have to check well to be sure that there are some scenes that are not adults or whatever it is. And sometimes we're not even around to monitor what these children that we refuse to teach them are watching. They watch it from the internet, and when they come to ask questions, most parents say, who asked you? You're spoiled already. Why are you talking about intimacy? Why are you talking about all that? What is it at your age? You're already looking at boys? There are better ways to address it. The more you become your child friend, and the more you make them feel comfortable and happy to talk to you on issues that has to do with relationship, the more open they will be, and the more it helps you keep them away from trouble. Because when they go out and they got confused by friends and they come home, they tell you up, okay, no, you're not supposed to be intimate with someone, you're not supposed to do this is how it's done. When you teach them that as a parent, you are important in their life, you are their first role model, and most of the things that you teach these children in a friendly way, they listen and they take it as a good advice. These students, the ones that wrote, most of them were even pleading for their parents to talk to them on issues that are relating to that. I know a 16-year-old girl who said in the book, when you read, who said there's a boyfriend of hers or a guy or a boy who bought her a phone, but she has been hiding the phone and she is scared of telling her mother because she don't know how she react and she might shout at her. And that anytime they see her walking with a boy coming from school, they start shouting and telling her, don't be close to boys and all that. So this among the many other issues that are related to things that teenagers are supposed to know about relationship, about abstinence, which we have ignored and just feel it's okay for them to learn anywhere. Believe me, they are going to learn from the internet. They are going to watch it on TV. They are going to learn from their peers. And when you find out exactly what they have been doing with what they are learning, you're not going to be happy that they know and that you didn't tell them when they needed it the most. In chapter 11, we talked about parental dictatorship. In this part, or let me say, there are some courses, most especially academically, there are some courses that we consider more paying, more prestigious, and have a lot of respect. Courses like medicine, like law, among other courses. So most parents, they tend to push their children to study courses that they feel is something that is trending and something that should be sought after. I'm not against you planning a good future for your child or choosing the course in which you feel is good for your child. The issue is, does your child have the passion for that? I might be good in maths, but the other person might not be. I might be good in English, but I don't know maths. I don't know physics. I don't know chemistry. You're asking me to go for a science course. How am I supposed to cope with that? You can say, oh, I'll learn along the way. I don't even have passion for it. I don't have interest. But you push me to go for courses that you want. Some people, according to the student that sent in their letters, they said their parents want them to study medicine just because their friend's son is studying medicine. Imagine you're making your child compete for a life decision. It's so disturbing and painful when children are not allowed to live up to their full potentials, to express themselves. You as a parent, you're supposed to guide them. You're supposed to tell them, okay, this course and this one is trending and is paying. That one that you're choosing is good, but you can find a way of making money or living your courses. But no, some parents make it a duty that my child must study the course that I've chosen for him. They don't ask the child, are you interested? Can you learn? Are you ready to learn? They just said, this is it. Medicine is paying and you have to go for medicine. Or my friend has a law firm and you have to study law so that the moment you're through, we can get a job for you. This is what is happening in most of the cases. Children are now left to stay where they will not function well because their interest is not there. They are just doing it because their parents ask them to. But what about the passion for art? What about the passion for any other kind of decisions, for any kind of career that they have chosen for themselves? I hope you enjoy this. This is all that there is in the book. That's the last chapter. Thank you very much for having me here. Mr. Anil,
Thank you,
over
Uvat.
to you.
Thank you so much, Uvat. Thank you.
Yes, it is true that children feel weighed down by parents' expectations. And as a head of the institution, as a teacher, I can relate to this so much. So we will go for others' opinion also, those who have not spoken before. Samina, you were the one who was anxious to listen to this book. Samina, are you there? Yes.
Yeah, she's there. She's there.
Yes.
Let me unmute. Okay, Samina ji.
Okay, we will come back to her. So,
Okay,
Nina
let's go
ma'am.
to Geeta. Let's get
Yes,
Geeta
yes.
ma'am. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, Samina. Yes, Samina.
Yeah. Tell me, what was the question? Because I just went away for a few minutes.
No, we just wanted to listen to your comments or your opinion about this book. What you thought about this book.
Yes, see, I've heard then also I will give my views. I had a lot of network connection problem. So I missed out on the beginning and I came in, when she was talking about this, when parenting with example, and then how children feel, when parents don't give them time. But it was just wonderful, Elisa. I tell you, I missed the earlier part and I'm regretting it, which I will get the recording but I really loved the way, you have structured it, because it speaks so much of the genuinity and the real heartfelt feeling that has gone into it. And it's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing, that you've done a wonderful job of your book. And thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Whatever little I've heard,
Thank you,
I'm
ma'am.
very, very thankful and impressed. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you,
very
Samina.
much.
Yeah.
Yes, Anil, do you want to call anyone else or shall I select?
Let me call Nina John. Nina ma'am,
Yes,
are you
Nina.
there? So I think international parenting is a very great topic actually to talk about, and I can talk for hours on the same topic.
Yes.
Let me hear
Same
from the
here.
other people.
I thoroughly enjoyed the review because all the issues discussed are so universal. All of us have the same parenting problems. All of us feel that, oh, my brother's always compared as better than me, or my sister's there, or she's smarter, whatever. Why can't they look at me? And so on and so forth. And all the issues that children have at each stage, I think children have different issues. So if you're a child, you don't have so much of a problem. When you're a teenager, everything is horrible. The whole world is against you. And unless your parents encourage you to find your own path, as you said, and that is so difficult because today, as you said, with so much information on the net, children are actually confused about what they want to do. And there are so many opportunities, and they really don't know whether they should ask their parents, whether they should ask their peers, or whether they should just Google everything and say, oh, I want to be an aeronautical engineer, or I want to be a fashion designer, or I want to be a chef. But if I say I want to be a chef, my dad will say, how will you make money cooking? Just get on with something more important with life. So these are the dilemmas parents we put our kids into. We have high expectations, and the problem for parents is they always feel if they relax too much, oh, if I relax, my son won't study and then he will fail in his board exams. And once he fails in his board exams, life has ended for the whole family. You know, everyone acts like board exams are the ultimate. So, especially now with COVID, I think your book has brought out a lot of stuff about how families need to be more together and how we need to learn so much from each other. And a lot of the stuff you said was, especially, for example, about sex education, where there's so much fake news and misinformation and just plain porn available to kids, so easily accessible that they are bound to pick up all kinds of warped notions about everything. And where do they go for guidance? Because those are the dilemmas the modern child has. Can I talk to my mom? Can I talk to my dad? Will they get upset? If I talk to my friends, what will they say? And do I believe my friends? Do I believe my uncle? Absolutely universal issues. And I like the way the book has tackled every one of these. And it's really a book, I think, worth going through. Thank you so much for taking us through that book. I feel I've read it already and all the details are there. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Neela ma'am. You have really put it into a nutshell now.
Sindhu, can I call Vania
is
Abbasi
Rogers.
from Pakistan? Because she's a
Okay,
medical student
because,
from Pakistan. Let me hear as
next,
a
we will
teenager.
go on to Rogers because he has raised his hand. That is why. Next. Okay. Yes, please. Who is it, Anil?
Vania Abbasi from Pakistan. Vania, you can unmute. Okay, let's go to Rogers then, please.
Rogers.
Okay, thank you, Anil and Sindhu. Thank you for the presenter. That was a wonderful presentation, and I could relate with everything. As an African, our culture was so patriarchal that the book has really brought out what it was, the struggle of an African child. The presentation particularly reminded me of a book I read. This book, it's called Nobody Knows My Pain. This is a book written by a 13-year-old. The 13-year-old Marianu Yusuf. The character is a 13-year-old. You find that there are two in the house, but the way we treat our children, both the girl child and the boy child, is very different. Just as you mentioned, preferential treatment. And that is so prone in our culture, whereby you find that boy child is given more price tag than a girl child. You find that they believe that it's only boy child that can sustain the genealogy. However, that has changed with time, because if you look at the African literature, most literature nowadays portray the girl as the source of the river. Like without the girl child, there is no society. I wish all of us, every culture all over the world, would appreciate the fact that all children are equal, and no one should be treated above the other. Secondly, there is an issue of about gender roles. That is also a factor when it comes to parenting. You find that in some culture, there are particular roles that are assigned to a particular gender. So that would seem like preferential treatment. I don't know how we could, if we could do away with these issues of gender roles, whereby some particular roles are assigned to a particular gender. That also is affecting parenting. And generally, in conclusion, I believe that each and every child is unique in his or her own way. Let us as parents treat the child uniquely. Let's recognize the uniqueness that is in every child, because what parenting method that has worked for one child may not work for another child, or maybe they're all your children. You have a girl, you have a boy, or you have both boys or both girls. You find that each of them will require a unique parenting method. So let's just, as parents, be aware. Let's spend time with our children, know them, know their strength, know their weaknesses, and give them the parenting method that is necessary for the particular kid. Thank you very much for the presentation.
Thank you, Rogers. Venkat sir, you were saying that you will speak for the second book. Yes.
Thank you. Uvat, I thoroughly loved the review. We get a driving license before we own a car, but not many people learn formally before becoming a parent. I think parenting should be mandatorily in the college syllabus, so that at least people who are educated also learn about it, and how parents should groom children uniquely and not differently, with the example of the boy being born in a family where there are only girls. These things were great. It made me believe that adults should not adulterate the child. I see parenting as pair renting. They are not owner of the child, they're only renting, occupying some space in their mind for some time. And I love the way you delivered the essence chapter by chapter. Great job, Uvat.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, who is left? Praveen Singh, you were saying that you have given tasks to your children during the lockdown time. And what is your opinion about this book?
I mean, some of the points which were discussed here are so much relevant to my book as well, which is Parenting Learn the Secret Ingredients for Teenagers. And I think all this name calling, spending time fighting in front of kids, all these are very crucial at a very young age itself. And we see the impact only in the teenage time. And we think that, it is only this stage that we'll have to deal with stuff. But everything starts from the time they are kids, right? What I hope you understand what I'm saying, right? Whatever she said.
Exactly.
Yeah, everything starts from the day one, according to me. And what they watch you doing, what is the atmosphere around, everything matters. And especially the name calling, we tend to forget that, we have like calling them something, and during the teenage years when they try to fight it out with us, we say, no, I actually didn't mean what I said, don't take it that way, you are a very bright child. But all the while, since childhood, you have been telling them, like, you are so dumb, your sister is so intelligent, and vice versa. So it all depends on how things are done. I know I learned it the hard way, and that's why the book. But I think what most of the parents need to understand, that everything starts from what they see around you. They don't listen to you, they're watching. And I think all the topics are excellent, like all the chapters, everything covered. And I really loved it over. Kudos to you.
Thank you, Praveen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Praveen.
Thank you.
Then if we don't have others, let us listen to what Uvat and Surya has to say about their experience of coming to the eBookery Club. Surya, please.
Okay, today the experience has been really nice. But before I talk about my own experience, I would like to congratulate Uvat, Elisha, for that wonderful book review. I really loved it, because I also have a teenage son. He's 14 years old, and now I've been thinking a lot of things. Till now, by God's grace, we are like friends. At home, all of us are like friends. I have a 14-year-old son and my 11-year-old daughter. Both of us, and even my husband, we have a very friendly atmosphere at home, by God's grace. We discuss everything very openly and very happily. They never hide a single thing from me because they get advice like a best friend or something. I never, talk like a mother. I talk like a friend to them. So right from childhood, they have been like that. I've been bottom. And I'm happy that, that all that she said in the book, we apply all those principles at home, luckily. So I think that shows on the children, their character and their behavior and their moral values and everything. And excellent book. I think this is the need of the time, especially not only in Africa, I think even in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, all these developing countries, and people really need it, because we're all going into this nuclear family thing, and we're not having the older generations with us to advise us or to take away our fears of, how to face the children and the generations after them. So I think we need more books like this only to help us, know more and learn more. And with experiences like from a mother like you, it comes from the heart. So, and I really liked it. I really liked it. Wonderful work. Thank you so much. Then, and then for the club, I'm very happy, Mr. Anil Thomas, he called me for this book review in your club today. It has been a very nice experience, very warm. There's a great warmth in all of the members, especially the reviews given to me by all of you. I'm very happy. I like the atmosphere, especially because everybody's so receptive and everybody's talking from the heart, and they all want to grow intellectually and they like it. Reading books is the best thing you can do for yourself, for your children, and for all the generations. I think it's the golden doors to knowledge. That's what I always say. And nothing like promoting books and reading books, and different we should always promote books, because different forms of thoughts and ideologies, to be able to listen to all of them, to discuss like this in such a friendly atmosphere. I like the way Sindhu carried out the whole meeting. She was so good to all of them, and even Mr. Som, I don't know, but he spoke so well for me. I'm very happy. And Major Narayan, I know him from my TGIS Toastmasters Club. He speaks very well. And and I'm very happy for everybody who spoke very nicely about me. And thank you so much for that warmth and the sweet, kind and appreciation for me and my book review. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you, Surya. Please join us in WhatsApp, as well as please join us for the other book reviews in the coming weeks. Thank you so much. And over to you, Uvat, Elisha, for your experience about this club.
Okay, thank you. Well, this is not actually my first time. I've been away for some weeks because of some issues I had to sort, but this is not my first time. I love the experience. It gives me an avenue to meet other people from other sides and get their own point about things that are happening at this very recent time. So I'm saying kudos to all the leaders that put up this program together, and I look forward to coming here always. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Uvat. Anyone else? Soma sir, would you like to give a review of this book? The second one, Nelson Joseph is here. Alex. Yes, Soma sir, please.
Yeah, really, we want to congratulate Uvat, Elisha, Marshall, because it is tough for her with a network challenge and sound challenge. And yet, I was thinking immediately we may stop because it is not getting, but she continuously talking. She's so passionate about it. And then all children globally are same, wherever it is. Only maybe if it is in Africa, sometimes the culturally more negative situation and context are faced by the children. So she may be in that emotion too. She would have gone through that and come out so successfully. That's why she is so passionate, and she can keep on talk on and kind of. And as even Surya Susan was talking, the remedies and solutions are, I think, more or less even our Toastmasters. She told these are all same. solutions. And as Praveen was telling, my book also, most of the things are same. Maybe around 10 or 12 points are there. But how are you going to execute those things? That's a challenge. I say I should not get angry with my wife. Okay, thank you very much. I put a plug. It's not possible. It happens. So then how do we control when children are there? Or I have given a solution to in my counseling session that in my home, my fight or my difference of opinion with my wife, this is the time to express, fixed time, 6 to 6:20 p.m. or 6 to 6:30 p.m. So any daytime, anything come, I tell them, hey, this is not our time. We have half an hour time. You can fight, do any nonsense you want. Maybe some of those things, it looks funny, but I think if you can bring it, those kind of thing, I think that works. Then rewarding the children, whatever they do, rewarding the wife. Another thing is that anybody want to shout at the children or belittle them, 4 times you should have complimented. Then only you have the authority, you have the emotional ability or stability or the empowerment to even scold your child. Your child is not your child. You happen to be the father because so many people's blessings and greatness and gratitude from God Almighty. So then the loving hours, few years, if a girl child, you get only a few years. Then you give the best, like she was telling, be the best friend. Try to become the best friend. For that, you have to become a role model. For that, you have to become good. And then you can put 10, 12 points and write the books from the heart and speak. And then you can publish the book. After publishing, you can bring here and present the book. Like I think all of us are capable of doing here. Wonderful, Anil Thomas, you're on this single-minded devotion and focus only about books. Through books, revolutionizing, I think, improving individuals and the families and the colony, the residential area, the district, the state, and the world. I think this is a silent reformation, silent revolution through books. So invite more people if you're convinced. I try to do. I think today 2-3 people have shown up. I have even put it in Facebook with a different way, caption. I told them, the guys, just come there 1 hour, you can get to know 2 books. So 52 weeks, 52 into 2 books. So it's a big thing because you yourself will not read that many number of books. So wonderful stage. Thank you very much for everyone's participation. Good. We have to make this place a little more busy and more people faces should come. Thank you very much. And you are a friend anyway, that is seen, Surya, Susan. We know that you have that friendship and that natural smile, the transparency is there. It works wonders. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. If nobody else is coming up, it's time to wind up now. So
yeah.
Anyone else would like to? Otherwise, we will wind up for this week. And next week.
Major Narayan can give that last, he has got some.
Major Narayan is on.
Major sir, please.
Maybe you can conclude.
Yeah. Can we take on?
Yeah.
You had Elisha. You thoroughly kept us glued to the contents. It was quite a serious presentation, and it was more enlightening. I am quite confident whether it is educative or enlightening or entertaining. It is all three put together.
Thank you.
I thoroughly enjoyed your short speech. It's finished all in a matter of around 30 minutes, and the different streams of thought, you were able to weave magic in the 30 minutes of your presentation. You carried the entire gist of what has been written. And if only parents, ex-parents, or rather aspiring parents would like to take some leaf out of your book, how glad the world would be. I thoroughly enjoyed your speech. And great way to go. Looking forward to hear from both of you, Surya as well as for Uvat. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is Anil?
Thank you
Anyone
very
else? Only Sapna and Nelson is left.
Okay.
We have one
Nelson, do you want to add anything further?
Oh, Nelson,
hello, thank you.
Thank you. Nelson is a very important person.
Yes. Please, Nelson. Yeah. You got a few more minutes to go.
Sorry
Yes.
for not opening my video because I am in Kochi and it's heavy raining and thunder, so very difficult here, bad network here. So please excuse for that. The session was wonderful and I thoroughly enjoyed both the book reviews, and I already decided to buy both the books. So soon I will be reading that book. So that is
Nelson. Nelson is there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes. We could hear you.
Yeah. Secondly, what I like most is the vibe shared by this group. So very positive, very energetic. So very happy to be part of this thing, and I thank Soma Sajivan sir for letting us know this about this group, because from his group only, from his share in the group only, we came to know about this. So thank you for that, and also very happy to know about that 5 AM club is working. So I was very excited to know more about that. So soon we will be discussing on that also. So thank you and hope to attend further sessions.
And
thank you,
Anil Thomas, he has got 2 groups. Total strength is around 750 people.
Yeah. Thank you, Nelson. Stay close to us and then be a brand ambassador for eBookery as well, like Soma sir or Mejanara, and so much.
Good evening, Anil. As a wind up this thing, I will also say.
Please.
Yeah. And
yes, of course.
Surya, both your reviews were absolutely excellent. Kudos to both ladies. That the way you explained made me look out through the book. And Uvat, as a parent, I also forget that one time I was also a child and I went through the same tensions that my child went through. But when I become a parent, I become a parent, you know. And Surya, sorry. The way you explained also makes us really interesting. Thank you so much, both ladies. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. I appreciate.
All right, Sindhu. Yeah, you can.
Yes. Shall we wind up now?
Please.
Yes. Thank you all. Thank you.
Both speakers have got a peculiar name, you know. Uvat, Elisha, Mashat, and here Surya, Susan, Bijoy. There's some symmetry. Beautiful. Something different, nice, unique names. Thank you very much.
Soma sir, your name displayed here is Soma Sajivan, human possibilities.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you everyone.
This will be there every Saturday. 2 books.
Yeah, please make us here. Thanks a lot. All right, Sindhu.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Okay, thank you so much. Join us next week, please.
Thank you, and you take care and good night and God bless.
Good night.
Thank you so much. Good night. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much.